Hello, welcome. My name is Hillary. I'm a Seint artist for those of you that don't know. And I am going to show you a basic hack. So HAC stands for highlight and contour. And essentially what that means is we use these gorgeous tins. So this is my palette. To make a three-dimensional look on our face to give you the best look for makeup that I've ever seen. So everyone who gets color matched will get color matched with two highlight colors. These are my two. They're obviously well used because I love them. A contour shade, which is a darker shade. And then I will give you like a couple lip and cheeks. This looks scary, but it's actually really sheer. And then also in my palette, I have an illuminator. Illuminator is cream or powder shimmer. That would be what we call a traditional highlighter, but this is illuminator. So think about your two highlight colors as your foundation and your concealer. We just do a little bit more with the lighter highlight. And then I have a bronzer, and this is actually one of the new bronzers. It's called Tan Lines. It's one of my favorites because it's not super dark. So this is how I typically have my palette set up. It's just very simple. So these tins pop in and out, so you can make your own personalized palettes. They look like this. They're magnetic. They pop right in, so that you have nothing that you never use. So that's the thing, that one of the things I love the most about it, what's so innovative, is that Seint really is able to be your personalized palette. There's no more days of like, oh, well, I like this color in this palette, so I bought the palette, but I only use 1 out of 3 colors. That just doesn't happen. So we're gonna start, and I am actually going to apply with my fingers. It's my favorite way to apply when you are new. It's just I think the best to help people when they're trying to figure out what to do, and also really fantastic for when you only have one brush. So I'm gonna get started, and I'm actually gonna start with my darkest shade. So I'm gonna start with my contour color. I'm gonna stick a little bit of it on my finger, and I'm feeling for my cheekbone. So I have pretty defined cheekbones. Like you can already see that there's like darkness kind of there, like there's a natural shadow, and that's what we're trying to create with contour. So I'm feeling for my cheekbone, and I'm gonna take my makeup, if it's on the right finger, and just kind of follow that cheekbone. So again, I'm taking a little bit of the makeup, I'm feeling for that cheekbone, and I'm following it. And I go till about the outside corner of my eye. I don't like to go too much farther. Now here's the beauty. This doesn't have to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination to turn out great. And I think that's an issue that some women have, is that they worry that it has to be perfect. Okay, so next step, I'm gonna take and I'm gonna apply that contour right around that outer edge of my hairline on both sides. Just like that. Maybe add a little bit here. Okay, and then the next thing I do is I just take a little tiny bit and I run it on my jawline, because everybody wants that nice defined jaw. Okay, so that part is finished. So now I'm gonna go, and I'm actually gonna go to my lightest shade, so my accent highlight. And I think about this like concealer, but concealer for areas that you want light and bright. So I like to take my highlight and put it right in that inner corner of my eye and kind of bring it down a little bit. Just like that. I put one dot next to it, but underneath where I have like that darkness, because I'm not going into that darkness. and then outer corner of each eye. So I like to stay away from my eye as much as possible, because if you can see, I have texture underneath my eye. Every woman has texture in their skin. And actually it's typical that we try to we put too much makeup there. Sorry, I have something on my finger. And instead it ends up making it look worse. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put just a couple little pops of that light color, my light highlight color, on the center of my forehead. That's an area that I want my face to be light and bright. I want the center of my nose to be light and bright. And I'm pretty much just taking a line straight down my face. Just like that. I've obviously not blended anything in, and that's totally okay, because this is what we're here for. Now I'm gonna take my main highlight color. So this would be the color you would consider your traditional foundation. And I'm essentially gonna do paint by numbers. I'm gonna look and I'm gonna see, okay, I've not put any makeup here. I've not put any makeup here on my jawline. I don't have any makeup here on my cheek. I don't have anything on the sides of my forehead here. And I'm just kind of playing, where do I need coverage still? And that's the thing I love about it. I love that it's one layer coverage. I don't have to worry about having, you know, makeup all over the place. I don't have to do foundation and then highlight and then, you know, concealer and then bake and then do this and then do that. It's like a one-stop shop. I think that's the hair that I had on my finger earlier. Oh well. Okay, so now you have this amazing mess, right? And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take one brush. One of my favorites is this blush and bronzer brush. And we're gonna start blending. And I blend by just starting to lightly tap the makeup into my skin. Just like that. There is hair. I have these hairs all over my face today. So we're just blending everything together. This truly is, in my opinion, the magic and beauty of Seint, is that, like, I looked at this the first time when I watched somebody else do it, and I was like, how are these colors not like muddying together and making this huge giant mess on this woman's face? That truly is the magic of Seint. That's the magic of cream makeup. That's just the magic of the brushes. It truly is just the magic and beauty that is Seint. So you can see this side of my face is pretty well blended, other than that hair. I feel like this hair is like attacking me. It's pretty well blended on this side, and this side is not. So that's what you're gonna get. That's the look that you're gonna get, and that's also the look that you want. So we're gonna keep blending on this side. I kind of rub and stipple at the same time under my eyes. Just like so. If you think you need more coverage somewhere, then you just take a little bit more. So I think I need a little bit more love, kind of like right there. You take it and you do it. And I think I need a little more contour right there. So you just take and do it. The makeup is buildable, it's blendable. It's really hard to make a mistake think I rubbed off some of my light on my nose. Okay, so there you have that. That is technically your basic hack. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to keep using my brush, and I'm going to go into my bronzer, which is Tan Lines. And I do bronzer in like a C around my eyes, and that's it. So I'm going to tap a couple little bits of the makeup onto the same end of my brush that I was just using to blend. And I just go around in a C, just like that. I love that Tan Lines is very subtle for me. It's not too potent or bright or too dark. Some of the other bronzers, I love them, but I know for a lot of women they're scary because they're so dark. So I love that this one just isn't. So it takes kind of that fear of bronzer away. And I really like it on my cheeks as well. It just kind of gives me a little bit extra, makes me hold on to summer, even though it's now officially October. So there you have that. And then I'm gonna take the same brush, not doing anything different. I'm gonna go into that lip and cheek color. And I'm just gonna apply a little bit. Look how gorgeous that is. Okay, so that looks really scary in the tin, right? But it's actually really not. It is so pretty. And it's sheer. And I love it. And I'm gonna take a little bit of it. And put it on my lips. Do you see how sheer that is compared to how it looks in the tin? And this is called Venice. So when I first got it, I was like, ooh, that's intense. But it's really not. It's actually really gorgeous. So there's that. Oh my gosh, I have like all these little hairs on my face. I have no idea what from. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch brushes real quick, and I'm gonna use the blend brush, which is our lightest application, to use for my illuminator. So the illuminator that I have been obsessed with is Starlit. So what I did is I took it and I just put a little tiny bit right above my blush on both sides. So you should be able to see contour, blush, illuminator. I'm gonna take a little bit and I kind of just follow the places that I wanted light and bright. So I did like straight down my face. I did the center of my forehead a little bit. Just like that, because that's really what I wanted. And then I need to make sure that I really blended my jawline, because sometimes I go to work and look crazy, and that's not what I want. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, here's what I love about this palette. It is a double decker. It's obviously dirty because I use it all the time, but I love that I can put eyeshadows in the bottom. So I use the top for my face, and then I use the bottom for my shadows. So I have a brush cleaning quick change tile. I have some vanilla dust setting powder that I've obviously used a lot, and I have a little eyeshadow quad. Our eyeshadows are the same thing. They come as separate tins. You can buy them all separately. You can also ask me to, give you some color shade recommendations, and I will absolutely do that. I actually think I'm only going to use 2 colors. I'm going to use Unicorn, and I'm going to use, I think this is Bird. Yep. I'm going to use these 2 colors today because I'm dressed down. We're not dressed up at work right today. It's Friday, so it's a dress down day. So I don't want to look crazy. So I always start with my brush cleaning tile. It's a quick change brush cleaning tile, so you can go between colors. And I'm gonna start with Bird, and I'm taking this pencil tip, which is the smaller of the 2 tips for the eyeshadow brush. And I'm gonna run it along that lash line, and then kind of run it in my crease and on that like outer third of my lid. And then I'm gonna take the other side and I'm gonna use it to kind of blend. Blending is the key to any good eyeshadow. You don't want your eyes to look crazy. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just gonna take it a little bit on that lash line. In that outer third of that. And then in my crease. I think a lot of women are afraid of eyeshadow, and there's just really nothing to be afraid of. Blend, baby, blend. Start with a little bit and blend. These eyeshadows are also super pigmented, which I absolutely love, because you get a lot of color payoff for just a little bit of makeup. And I think that's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna do ginger too. So this is ginger. It's this sparkly golden color. I'm gonna put that right in the center. I love ginger. It makes blue and green eyes really pop. And I'm kind of just putting it on the center with my finger. I love applying our shimmers with my finger. And then I'm gonna take that lightest shade, that unicorn, which is this shade right here. And I'm gonna take it and put that on my inner corner. And then I'm gonna blend the three colors together. I obviously don't wanna just leave like harsh lines anywhere. So again, I am taking the fluffier end of that brush, and I'm doing what I like to call marrying the three colors together. And that's it. Super easy. My fingers are a mess, but it's the easiest way to apply your makeup, especially when you only have a couple of brushes. So what do you think? Get me your color match in. We can get you started with all of the things. I'm super excited. I hope you have a wonderful evening.